Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games, and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975. Yeah, I want to talk about COPPA again, because you're probably thinking, didn't you talk about this last week? Yes, I did, but I want to clarify something from my video last week about, the deletion of non-profit making channels. But first of all, I'd just like to apologise that I sound like Barry White, unless you like that sort of thing, but I'm sick. Being inside my head is not a very nice thing at the moment. Anyway, COPPA. So last week I said that if you look at the new terms and conditions by YouTube, when when it warned you about having to comply with the new Online Children's Act, like ticking a box and stuff like that, they're quite sort of fear-inducing. This is not scaremongering in this video, this is not, but this is just what I'm going to do, because you've read the title, which is Deleting Videos and COPPA, or COPPA and Deleting Videos. Anyway, so what is COPPA basically? It's the Child Online Privacy Protection Act, and why is it being introduced? Now, here's the thing, because of how vague YouTube is being with how you need to adhere to these rules about content being not made for children, by giving you no information whatsoever and essentially throwing you under the bus. The reason that it's happening is because of Google. Google got caught last year with their pants down, where they were farming children's information from what they were watching on videos for the purpose of advertising. So they broke the rules big time in order just to make money, and they were fined $170 million by the FTC. And so how do they respond to this? They throw us under the bus by, you must adhere to these rules because you could potentially face fines of $42,000 per each video that breaks these rules. So, want to know what the rules are? Why don't you consult a lawyer? This is essentially it. They're giving us nothing. They caused this entire mess, and the content creators done nothing wrong here, and we're the ones that they're actively hanging out to dry to be punished. Now, when I said it did, and it was worded like that, this is the thing about Google, unless it was simply, damage control, Team Facebook on Twitter, basically, because a lot of people, tweeted out there, what the fuck, Google, deleting non-profit making channels, your backbone of YouTube. And they said, no, what we actually meant was certain features and things that have been available in each and every video will be removed. Yeah, they don't really sound very similar, do they, those two types of wordings, but that's apparently what they meant. So don't worry, you're not going to lose your channel. As much as any promise counts for shit, I guess, with Google. You're not going to lose your channel if you don't make money, such as me. So that's a slight piece of good news in this, but I stand by it, which is, Google, do you not read shit back to yourself in your big boy voice, out loud and not in your head, when you word things like this in the terms and conditions and think, shit, that's a bit scary, that is. When actually what I meant was, no, we're just going to remove certain functionality. Because if your videos are aimed at kids, people won't get notified about them, comments won't be available on them, and you can't monetize. So, I mean, they've always told you to make your videos child-friendly to monetize, but if you make your videos directly at children, you can't monetize. Like, again, as I touched upon last week, this whole thing is just one big mess, big pile of fucking clown shoes. But, yeah, good that, we're not going to have our channels deleted if we don't make YouTube any money. But as I said, with anything, take that with a pinch of salt, because promises don't count for anything with Google. We know that. Maybe they just said that statement because they absolute shitstorm it caused on Twitter, or maybe they do mean it, but that doesn't mean they still mean it a year, 18 months down the line. And that's not me scaremongering, but, there have been many things over the years with copyright, ad apocalypse and things like that, where we've all thought that the sky is falling on YouTube, and they've turned out to be all right. But this is different. This is a big deal. So yeah, I don't know. I take everything they say with a pinch or a grain of a fucking handful of salt, I would say. But now, before everyone says, it's all right though, Dave, because we've got that, we check that box and we say that our content is not made for children. It's fine, everything's fine. Don't think that box is giving you any form of real protection. That is literally a checkbox exercise by Google. That's a disclaimer, if you will. The fact that you've made it through your videos, you check that box and your videos have made it through one wave of algorithms on YouTube that deem that your content is fine, is nothing. It's the FTC that you want to be worried about. Now, the problem here is, while this affects everyone on YouTube, and it certainly affects those of us in the gaming community. Could you argue that retro community or retro gaming is not as much considered to be what kids want to see because they only like new consoles? I don't know. But the real people, if you are a toy channel, I'm not doing this to scare you, but you need to go and check out some videos by Analog Toys and Retro Blast, and particularly Retro Blast, and one where he talks, you can see it, and the one where he talks about the petition, which I have signed, because the FTC have given us till the 9th, so they are listening, to the 9th of December to give them suggestions and voice our fears, which is where you need, if not just, gaming channels, any channel that you like out there, you need to sign this petition. Ultimately, will it change it? Maybe, maybe not. But if you've got a chance, you've got to take it. So I'll put a link to his channel, both the channels, where you can go and sign. He explains it a lot better than me, and you can go and sign this petition to hopefully try and, stop the FTC being so fucking cack-handed and heavy-handed, I should say, with how they're going to police this. But this affects toy channels particularly. They are the worst offended. That's why the people in the toy community are really, really, leading, I guess you could argue, the fight back on this, because this really does affect them. I mean, you could argue that if they're not using foul language, if their video is not aimed at kids, but they're not using foul language, it's informative, intelligent, and educational, then isn't that basically, that's aimed at kids anyway? That's aimed at everyone. This is where this is so vague, with YouTube literally not giving us any help or instructions apart from, call a lawyer. Thanks for that, Team YouTube. Yeah, this is where this whole thing just falls into, just one big clusterfuck of confusion. Now, when I said take that, that tick in that box, that doesn't protect you from anything. I did it, and then I went through and processed every video manually, not literally click process, but just to make sure. But yeah, to say that none of these are aimed at kids, but they're saying if they're not aimed at kids, but kids watch it, this is the whole vagueness thing. You could be liable for a fine. But I will say this: what they have clarified since then is you're not going to be fined. Well, I don't know, touch wood, even though that's plastic, Dave, $42,000, that's the maximum fine. I'm assuming that if you do have AdSense enabled and you do make money, and one of these videos falls foul of these new rules, again, we don't even know what they are, thanks for that, Team YouTube, and the FTC decided that, it breaches it, I'm assuming they're not going to say if someone's literally made 27p of money on that video, fucking have this $42K, dollar fine. But again, we don't know. So I would say that, and again, we don't even know what, but I'm going to go through my videos, and I don't mean to scare people or anyone in the toy community, but literally I'm probably going to just delete anything that I have that has got toy in it. It's granted it's not that many because I'm a retro video game channel. Could you argue though, here's the thing, the lines in the sand, could you argue that me reviewing a mini arcade cabinet is a toy? But yeah, so I'm going to get rid of my Star Wars videos. But the thing is, again, yeah, they are toys, kids' toys. I unbox them and review them. But the thing is, I swear like a priest from the 60s in them. So they're not aimed at kids, but they're Star Wars, and Star Wars is a popular toy with kids. But I'm going to blast them out. I mean, you could argue, I've done this with every kind of Sky is Falling Out apocalypse and things like that, the copyright changes, and purge certain videos. Did it necessarily make any difference? Or did I delete them for, no reason? Probably. But I don't know. I just feel better trying to make some effort because I cannot express enough that this is a big deal. May not seem it now. I mean, we passed one round of, algorithms with YouTube. But come, January the 1st, and these things get properly enforced. And again, we don't even know what how they're going to be properly enforced because Google isn't telling us. Like, again, bus for table one to throw them under. I don't know, I would feel better. I mean, am I telling you to do it? Not really maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. I've watched a lot of stuff in this, was probably not helped, in the last week or so, and I cannot, express, COPPA is serious. It is forever. If it doesn't destroy YouTube, it is forever going to change its landscape, like big time. Like I said, all the other, Chicken Little scenarios that have happened over the years, that's nothing compared to this. And it's all Google's own fault. Do you know what I mean? Kind of glad that Stadia's fucking bomb now. Ha! Take that, Google. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to go through my video, and if it blatantly... Oh, and also, if you've got children in it, you know, like... I mean, like arcade footage with kids in the background. I don't know. I'll probably delete that as well. Again, will it make any difference? Probably not. But this is just what I'm going to do. But I just wanted to clarify, you know... Again, I don't want to scaremonger, but this is a big deal. But you're supposedly not going to lose your channel if you don't make Google money, or you aren't a profitable channel. So that's a good thing. But as always, I love to know what you think. But on this, I don't even know what to think anymore. This is one big, horrible, fat mess. And it's all entirely Google's own fault through greed. Anyway, seriously, I'd love to know what you think, especially if you know anything more about this, because I don't profess to be an expert on it. But go and sign that petition, and go and check out those two channels I mentioned, the videos where they talk about COPPA. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I wish I could have had a more positive video or for a vlog this week, but thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.